Sappppaning. I'll tell you exactly what's happening. So here's going to be one of my response videos to the questions I was asked. If you're just watching this first, go back a week or two. There was a big thing about Q&A. You all asked a bunch of questions. One of them was, why am I an urban explorer? So I thought, what better place than to film this but the most localist abandoned building I can get. As you can see, check this. Sitting on a nice ridge. It's not a lot to see here. It is burnt out. It is derelict, desolate. It is all of the above. So, but nice backdrop to do this in it. So back to it. Why am I an urban explorer? Right, so many of you already know. If you're not, if you're new to the channel, I've explored abandoned buildings for a good 10 to 12 years. Well, probably 2020. Yeah, about 12 years. More to the 12 years. All right. That's officially like with the camera, taking pictures, going around them, traveling, etc. That's going back to the early Targarth days. That's going back to places like this when the roof was still up, you know, when they were in decent condition. But my love for the abandoned buildings, right, must go back to me being a teenager. I'm talking about 13, 14 for one of them that I can remember, if not a little bit earlier. So a bit of a story is from Tydfil originally, moved down to the Bridgend area, what, 8-9 years ago now. Prior to that, always had a caravan in Porthcawl down in Treco Bay. So grown up there as a kid. And now many of you might know, some of you might not know, there used to be a place right next to it called Sandy Bay. Now I was lucky enough to experience that when the people were told, look, they're closing the site down, either get your caravan off here, take it somewhere, or it's going to get trashed, sort of thing. So a lot of people just left their caravans there. So I used to go there with my uncle, walk around them, explore them as they were just left, abandoned, and I'm talking with everything still inside them, literally like you've just gone home on a weekend and left it. That's exactly what it was like. And I turn this a little bit because there's a bit of rain coming down, so keep you indoors a little bit during this lockdown anyway. But so yeah, used to go around, and I'm not talking like 2 or 3 caravans, I'm talking over 100 caravans that were just left there. And it got to the point people were setting them on fire, they were trashing them, and I can even remember just going in them and like looking around them. And I can remember I took like a football and stuff when I was a kid, back before I did the rule of like leave only footsteps. So yeah, that happened. So that's like always been a love of, like, I'm talking like 7-8 years of age I must have been here. Then right through then I used to go shortcut home, used to ride my bike through the Pantmorlis tunnel in Merthyr. That's right, used to ride it through a tunnel, abandoned railway tunnel. Now in this tunnel there's a bunch of burnt out cars. There is a video on my channel if you want to go back. And I'm talking like old Novas, old Fiestas, all that stuff just burnt out in there or just dumped in there. I used to ride my bike through this pitch black with the boys just to get a bit of a shortcut home and beat the hills. I know, it's crazy. So that's where that come from. Loved it. And then I gradually, you know, just started watching stuff on TV, all this Hurricane Katrina stuff that happened. Loved that. I know it's awful, but I just, like, all these houses left abandoned, you know, Detroit collapsing, and just everything just left derelict over there, like all the old car factories and plants and stuff. It is absolutely incredible. So that's what got me big into it to begin with. And, you know, always been interested in photography from a young age. Used to just take pictures of stuff. Started like looking around on the forums, and I always knew there was a couple of abandoned buildings, the old synagogue in Merthyr, the old general hospital in Merthyr. Now this is a time when you were exploring them before they were on the forums. I've been and done it. It's thinking, Jesus, people are doing this. People are like got a love like I've got. So carried on from that really then, didn't it? And I went to Targarth Asylum, which is, you know, Mid Wales Asylum. That's my first proper explore. I'm talking late 2008, early 2009. When it was in immaculate condition. The floors were still polished, the polishers were on the side, curtains up, there was beds in the wards. Not many of you had experienced it like that, so I feel completely blessed to do that. And it's just grown from there. It's grown from strength to strength, location to location. I've travelled hundreds or thousands of miles around the UK exploring. Been lucky enough to explore places over in America, you know, Goldfields, all that sort of places. My list is still huge. And a few of you asked, what's my best explore? Targarth will always be, you know, there for me, simply because of it was the first one. You know, it's like not like losing your virginity, but it's like you're always going to remember it because it's your first official one. And Denby Asylum, it's trashed, it's wrecked, but I absolutely love it. It's just something about it. When I used to go back in the day when Elwyn was patrolling it, and you could just go and, like, you know, dodge the places, and we got shouted at loads of times there, like, cars come, slam the horns on, police has been here, and we've just gone back in the building. Of course they won't venture in the building because it's like that, it's not safe. So yeah, funny stories for that. Car caves is always another one. You know, it's an old quarry thing. It's just cars dumped down there from the council back in the day. But, you know, it's not this cavern of lost souls and all this bullshit. It's literally just cars dumped in there, which is an incredible experience. And I was lucky enough to go and explore that many years back, before it was all filled with all the dinghies that people leave down there, before people start climbing over the cars and ruining them. So that's another one always close to me. But Pink Floyd Manor was another one. That was a day I will never ever forget. And meeting other explorers in there when we were actually in there. Bonkers. But yeah, that place, David Gilmour place, that was incredible. You know, just to go there and experience it, and experience what sort of like living in a millionaire's lifestyle for a little bit. And yeah, loved the place, absolutely loved it. So that was another one I loved. I'm just trying to think, you know, it's just seeing stuff. Duke of Lancaster, stuff you always had on your list from a younger age, just seeing it a little bit later in life. Incredible. Well, yeah, you know, I loved, what else we've done? God, I've done hundreds and hundreds of locations. As you know, there's loads on this. But I've always loved car graveyards. That's always been a big love of mine. You know, big car fan, so obviously it would. Walking around those, and I can remember, literally, I've been the person that would travel 4 hours just to go to a car graveyard, take some pictures, video, which are on the channel, and then drive home. You would do like 8-9 hours just to do one car graveyard. You know, the old murder farm, that was an interesting day, simply because of, you know, guy shot his wife-to-be and the stepdaughter, which explored. That was eerie. And then on the way home, we had a car accident. I was a passenger in, and nearly broke my elbow, so I'm never going to forget that place. You know, it's just you hold memories in, like the old up towards past the Midlands, the old the Sex Dungeons place, the sex club. That's like a different world. You know, I felt like I need disinfectant after just walking around there. Not judging, whatever you're into, innit? But you've just seen some places, and I'm just like, whoa, it is. I feel like blessed to have seen them. But I'm gonna say as well, when I'm there, #1 experience for me has to be the Salvage Yards. As many of you know, I've got a couple of Boeing 747 videos on there, and I've got other videos on there. And I've been lucky enough to go on all these, like British Airways 747, parked out just off the runway. I was like, I'd love to, and the guy who like was on permission visit, do you want to go and see it? I said, I'd love to go and see it. I was like, oh, we're going to get on it. So I'll show you a trick now. I think it was a lower 48, something like that it was, where the front landing gear is. There's a little ladder on there. So we just climbed up that, up into a hatch, up into another hatch, up into the floor, you know, of the deck. Like, it's just, I only just fitted through it as well. It was I had to squeeze myself through it, and you know, explored all that plane. Police were using it for training, so it was all taped, the masks were down. It was like a terrorist training thing. Incredible. Yeah, that's, you know, that's when I ever have kids one day, if I have kids one day, that's a story I'm going to share with them. And the guy, Tim, his name is, just saying to me, I'd love to know what the escape hatch is like on the cockpit. So he pops out the roof, and I climb up, and I'm on top of a 747. And you know, it's a plane, yeah, but obviously, you know, you think you're going to be high. If you ever stood on top of a 747, it is high, you know. But there was an Airbus there with all the whole top cabin cut off. It was like a convertible aeroplane. Been it, done it, seen that. Another one as well, the Saudi Arabian 747 at a different location, which I won't mention, no names, which we had full permission to go and take pictures of, do it, etc. Explored it, put a YouTube video up. That video went over 100,000 views within 2 or 3 days, which is a bit like, whoa. All of a sudden, the CEO of that company messaging me, you need to take this down, you shouldn't be. I was like, what's a permission visit? You know, your staff's there with us. And long and short of it was, the plane still belonged to Air Atlanta. So even though it was leased by Saudi Airlines, it wasn't signed over to the company yet. So it was still an active Air Atlanta plane. And I'd gone in and explored it, all the bloody flight documentation, everything was still there, like they just left it. And that was insane. But there's so many aviation parts as well that they've given me over the years, which is cool, or stuff I've bought as well. And I got to the point I was buying stuff like the altitude readers, etc., parts, food trays, all that stuff, buying them and selling them on eBay, because they got crazy money and they're so cheap to buy from there. So that was cool. That's an experience. What else is there? You know, it's just stuff everywhere. But my list as well is massive. I've got so many stuff I still want to do. I've taken a break from the exploring simply because of, you know, I've said in a previous video, it's all this hype, oh, YouTubers, all this, blah, blah, blah. That's not me. I literally do not care about being famous. I don't care about being an influencer. I don't care about nothing. I go, I explore, I fill in the gaps of people who like my pictures. And, you know, it's taking them for long. It's taking you guys along for a ride as well, isn't it? So I thought to myself, you know what? Stuff it. If they want to be like that, let them be like that. I'm me. I'm my own person. I know who I am. I'll do some videos. So there is going to be abandoned stuff coming up, and I've been researching a lot of locations during this lockdown in free time. So yeah, why not, innit? So I've probably missed loads out of this video again. I think it's one of those weeks. Obviously, don't know what's happened. Go back a couple of videos to tell you what's happened. But yeah, it's one of those things at the minute. So I'm finding myself again. I'm trying to get myself back all good, and from that point then we'll all be good. So there's a lot of nice stuff coming by, but there's a little story shared why I'm into urban exploration, why I love it so much. And yes, I've been filming on YouTube, I think about 2017, top of my head. I think it's about 3 years. So it's not a lot, is it? But the channel has grown so quick, and it's almost on 5,000 subscribers. So thank you. I know I took like a big 4 or 5 months off it, but it's back and I'm putting daily vid. I'm doing the best I can in this lockdown to bring you different content, nice content. So trying to stick original, trying to do some explores, and just doing day-to-day life, I can speak. So yeah, until next time, boss is out. Boosh.